Hi, Dr. Saxena here, and talking about this tech stress and how you can always modify some of the things. I have been always trying to understand some of the patterns here, and there is something which I am always talking about is wired and wireless, and what is the social information, how we are wired to attend the social information about power structure and hierarchy. And see, see, we need to understand some of the things which we can always that there are clues in the structures. Basically, when we try to use this social media platform, try to understand what is this thing this doctor is talking about, which is called social media addiction, because we feel continuously the need to know who has the power and be updated about what is going on regarding who may have power ups over us. We always try to, even with friends and family with whom we feel safe and secure in our relationships, we feel the urge to check the notification or the social mandates to make sure that our social status is not being shifted. So this is one thing which I always thought. I was trying to talk to someone, say about some. They said, okay, I need to keep two phones or I need to keep three phones. So I asked, what is the necessity and all that. They, oh, this is something like a social status. So no offense meant, but people are really addicted. They are lazy. They lack. There's a lack of self-control, and we try to see, we are trying to blame the people who has brought this. It is similarly blaming a child for wanting candy at a supermarket checkout counter. Instead, we should blame the store and the food industry for evoking the child's response. Solutions should include reducing the exposure to the stimuli, especially to the young children. So what I'm see, we need to move away from the blaming the individual or the or for responding automatically to the stimuli or recognizing the displays and kind of things. I always tell people, and I try to practice that. I try to keep my notifications silent. Any notification comes, I'm really I don't want to get disturbed by that particular glitch sound. Having said so, because what happens is that we are automatically geared. The moment that sound comes, we will try to see what's out there, and this is one of the. I feel this is one of the evolutionary trap, and you recognize the stimuli and all that. We are trying to work on this particular thing, and I can always tell you what we are talking about, looking at this screen times and all that. See, we have all the time we have been working on this particular. We are wired to identify danger. We tend to react to any stimuli that suggests potential danger, as well as the presence of food sources like game animals. Whether the stimuli is auditory, visual, tactile, or the stimuli triggers arousal. This arousal occurs to both real as well as virtual stimuli. Because our biology compels us to respond to virtual stimuli present in the digital devices, this particular thing has to be understood, because digital content can be omnipresent, always becoming. It evokes something like you get into something like stress screen addiction. From an evolutionary perspective, it is we know where we are once triggered. We are triggered into more the bodies and all that. We see used to walk around, used to move our four limbs and all that, and we were not sitting at one place and holding something in the place and not moving the large muscles of the body and working on that. So this particular thing is one thing which always has to be understood, because what is happening is you are wired, you are sitting in the screen time, you are in the virtual kind of thing, and you are see your body is not moving. It's not you're not running away from them, but you're all arousal phenomena. Like if you see a kind of danger, and you can always your adrenaline jumps, your all hormones, your neurochemicals, there's a flow of neurochemicals inside. You are seeing a TV serial, you're going through emotional kind of melodrama, you start. I've seen people, it happens. So these are the things which we have to work it out. And what I mean to say, I believe today we may be exposed to a continual stream of stimuli that evoke the visual, that arousal associated with that survival. Instead of hunting and gathering or fighting or fleeing, we stay seated and relatively immobilized and do not or move our large muscles for defense or survival. This ongoing arousal and vigilance triggered by modern digital content is coincident with a static muscle tension, such as tightening our neck and shoulder muscle, increased low-level trapezius muscle tension, and changes in the heart rate and breathing pattern, which probably we pick up in something like called decreased heart rate variability as well as increased shallow breathings. So this based on all these things, we are talking about something which how this tech stress can be reduced. This was written by one of the this hijacking of the body's responses to get out of danger by the audio, video, or vibrator signals from the modern digital devices have been described very well by Pepper, Harvey, and Fass in their book, the text called Tech Stress. How the book is how the technology is hijacking our lives, strategies for coping, and pragmatic ergonomics, and this has to be understood from a perspective. I believe that everyone should have this knowledge, and we need to look into this particular thing, because I can always tell you the rise in something called autism. You have got something like hyperactivity disorder, people having a ADHD, overweight, obesity, and diabetes, and all these stuffs are related to this particular stuff. What is happening at your ground level? See, we have been talking about as the children getting captured with screen, they tend to stay in the same static position, often resulting in little or no change in the body movements, with an increase in static muscle tension. And this particular thing which causes shallow rapid breathing and all that. So there's a big impact on this children's health, and we are trying to understand this kind of I can always tell you, these children have never learned to use the typewriter, and we somewhere now we are only working with the fingers movements, no muscles, no other large muscles movements and all that. So this thing has to be worked out. Particularly I'm concerned, and I look at my even my indulgence with the tech. This one is quite high. I'm always on this one social media app. I'm always on this particular thing, trying to record some of the things. But yes, I try to sit quite far away from the computer, so that I never have to really stress. I never has to. My eyes are. I don't have to always look at the short distance, and so what happens is that when you look at the near distance from a near point, your accommodation, your muscles get tired, and you get into some problem. Vision problems comes because of this particular thing. The eyes could focus. The most computer screens today are positioned at about 18 inches maximum. Typically, people only typically look into that in this near field objects displayed on the screen, or look at the wall or a partition behind the screen. When looking at a cell phone, we look even closer, about 10 to 15 inches away. we try to see like this: the muscles that cause the eyes to converge and the lenses to focus have no opportunity to relax, which can only occur by seeing away from him. So whenever you are trying to, or try to see the other thing also, try to see what is happening with the time, what is the things, try to look at the long distance also. No, never try to see only that close particular stuff. So blink, and consequently our blinking rate is reduced when we attend to new stimuli. So, so what is happening is many of the people who are having a eye strain are having eyes also, in addition to the muscle strain from the immobility of sitting for hours working from a computer. So I don't have anything against working at a computer, because I also do the same thing, but you need to find out resources. You need to see how small breaks you can take, or what is the distance, minimum distance you need to work it out. This is something like you need to work out on longer mini or macro breaks, or like stretching or getting up with the seat, and going for a short walk and all that. So you need to work on this particular stuff. And yes, I always have been diligent and talking about how we can always see that. See, at the end of the day, we are trying to keep ourselves more productive. And yes, there is always a kind of thing. But when you look at all the small nitty-gritties, and I'm sure these things can be more. It can be easily worked out. And you can always read digital books. You can always search the net, but not 24/7, 365 days a year. It should not be like that. And you're here to stay away from that digital screen interactions. You need to have that. I call it as a digital detox. Everyone needs to have that, and you should always go for that. You sleep 8 to 10 hours whenever you sleep. Don't make it a habit to, when you get up, you just open your cell phone, and you at least try to switch off your cell phone when you sleep. So these are the consequences of big able to see. We are paying the price for this technology. I know there are very good stuffs and all that, but why I'm feeling so tired? Sitting or looking at the screen, a cell phone, not doing anything. You're constantly tired. What is this particularly phenomena happening? We are trying to work it out, and look at the kind of muscle tensions, what is being happening, and what is happening at the breathing, how the breathing is getting into shallow breathing, what is the tension in the shoulders, the children when they are playing the video games and all that. This are all being worked out in a big way. We have now the reasons what is making that static tension in the forearm, neck, and the shoulder muscle, which is all of us are into a big particular this one. So this, with this particular thing, I think there are some things which we are, as we always are telling about, how to see that you regenerate, and you have to heal. When we are wired to conserve the energy, and we need to start looking at innovative solutions, and that particular thing which will allow people to survive longer than, and it's not that it's a question of kind of thing, survive of thing, but I can always tell you, your biological, your so many things changes at hand. And you need to really, these are all the things which are contributing to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and so many things. So see, it's the simplest thing. We need to understand that we are all wired to see digital images and sounds as if they are real. We have got a good 4K TV and all that, excellent kind of things. But the problem is again the blue-white light. Blue-white light is the one thing which is normally found in the daylight, and once you use this blue-white light in the nights from our phones and the computers, which stimulate your central nervous system as if it was a daylight, watching a screen before going to sleep inhibits melatonin production, and increases arousal as we react to updates on social media or even watch arousing media. Even with the apps that change our screen frequency of light to a night mode, the content of visual images and the sounds may represent daylight activity. So the body keeps, this body keeps on keep us awake, contributing to disturbed sleep. So this particular thing is to be understood by each and all, everyone, because unless you have a good melatonin, you're not going to have a peaceful sleep. And if you don't have a peaceful sleep, you're going to in for a big issues. We have been discussing about melatonin, what is the kind of how this light at night phenomena is causing a light at night phenomena is the most common thing is through the cell phones. So, so how do you thrive and strive in a digital environment? Maintaining health and preventing discomfort at computer is more than learning muscle awareness and physiological control. You need to see that you need to work on a lot of areas, how you communicate with your things. We are trying to work on some ergonomics and try to see how we can best use our things. We try to work on biofeedbacks, we try to work on some other areas. And yes, this is one thing which is a new phenomena, and people should know about how to cope up with this strategies. This particular thing is one thing which I think we had never with this 30 years of experience, and after 31 years after doing a medical graduation, and I'm able to learn this particular thing, and it gives me a kind of I'm excited at the same time trying to share these things with my patients and all that, and with my other doctor colleagues. And this is tech stress is real. Thank you.